Hello, my name's Lena and I eloped. This is a picture of me and my now husband Craig getting married at Gretna Green. If you'd like a breakdown of why we did it, what happened, what is it like to elope, especially to such a historical location, I have a video about that and you can watch it after this one. Don't worry, those questions will be answered. But this video is specifically about what I wore. One, because I know you're all nosy and lots of you have been asking. And secondly, because if you are not new here, you've watched this channel before, you'll know that I'm somebody who often thinks about the fact that the floor is made of lava, and I am trying to be as conscious as possible with reality in mind when it comes to interacting with fashion and makeup and consuming things because of the big CC, the big climate crisis. So getting married was it was a consideration to what I wore. It wasn't the only one, and I definitely didn't try and make myself feel guilty for the things that I did get, but there was just very naturally an emphasis on secondhand fashion, mainly also to keep the cost down, if I'm honest, and also because my ceremony was only 15 minutes long and we didn't hire a photographer. There are pictures, obviously, otherwise you wouldn't be able to see it happening. We didn't hire a photographer. There didn't feel that same pressure to look perfect, or knowing that I would be looked at from all angles all day, and like things that had to last a really long time, and things that were, you know, that my makeup had to be perfect all day, or my hair, like all of that was actually a great symbol of why eloping worked for me, in that all of those worries and considerations were completely off the table. So acknowledging that style of wedding allowed me to not have to consider things too carefully is important. And also, like, if that is something that sounds appealing to you, maybe a good advocation for eloping. I know it's not for everybody, I have a video all about that, but that's one of the reasons why this, like, assembling this outfit and this look was so much of a anxiety-less, pleasurable experience for me. So I'm going to start with the makeup, because I kind of did a slightly less considered version of the makeup that I did on the day. I wouldn't have this big hello, I've been wearing glasses all day mark on my face, but apart from that, nothing. So I did very much like my usual foundation, a lot of my usual makeup, because again, like, I think investing in new makeup admits to myself that I haven't been getting the best makeup for me or makeup that suits me. So hopefully I leaned into the fact that I was already owning makeup that suited me and that I was really happy with and I was comfortable with and I knew how to use. But I did pull out a few things that I thought were more unusual for me to wear and kind of heroes of the day, like reasons why I think this makeup worked for me. It might not actually look that different to you to my normal makeup, and to that I would say fair. But I am wearing more bronzer and more considered blush, and I just took longer to do it, essentially. Like nothing. I even did my eyebrows, which I often don't do for videos, so enjoy that. Merry Christmas. A few things that did make me feel like this was, I thought I'd highlight a few items that are cruelty-free, a lot of them are from small businesses that I'm really happy to promote and support, and also they're items that I think did kind of make the look, like things that made me feel special and made them feel a little bit more out of the ordinary than my normal makeup look. So the first one was the eyeshadow. This is a palette from Ace Beauté. The palette is mainly made out of cardboard and the eyeshadows are really, really good. And I used Mulberry, which is a kind of greyish purple, like very subtly purple, because I didn't want it to be purple, because you'll see my dress soon. And then also a bit of biscotti mixed in with it. That's the vibe. And then as well as that, I did a KVD dazzle stick for my inner corner to really make it shine. I'm really not a beauty influencer, am I? But this is like a really beautiful kind of champagne-y colour, but it has a few flecks of blue in it. It's really unusual. And I put that in my inner corner, and that's something that I did buy especially for the wedding. So I was like, I just want something that is going to make me feel a little bit like pizzazzy, and it's something that I know that I'm going to use up completely as well. It's not something I'm just going to wear for that day. These are my everyday blushes, but I do think they're really great, so it's worth shouting them out. These are the zero waste refillable cream blushes and highlights from Salt New York, and the colours that I used was Cocoa for my blush, and this highlighter, which is just called Beige, And as you can see, I've completely obliterated that as my everyday highlighter, but it's very good. And then as a little extra, if you're somebody that doesn't wear makeup that much, I think this is like such a nice little product. And if you're somebody who on your wedding day, you don't want to, you kind of like want to do some makeup, but you don't want to like do a whole beat. This is a product called Dew Wet from a very small brand called DM Beauty, Desna Myricks. And it's kind of just like liquid sweat, but not liquid sweat. It's kind of like, it just stays on all day, and it's just a little bit of dew that you can add to your cheeks. It's not a highlighter, it's completely clear, but it gives a little kind of natural reflection on your cheeks. So I put a little bit on the top of my cheeks and a little bit on my nose, and that gives a kind of radiance, I think, that isn't just full of glitter. I'm not a makeup expert by any means, although I did spend a lot of time watching YouTube videos on makeup in like the early 2010s. But I also really hate when other people do my, like I viscerally hate it. I feel like I have very strong, even though I'm not an expert and I have no real experience, I also have very strong opinions about how I want my makeup to be done. And the few times that other people have done my makeup, I've always just been like, oh, I don't look like me, I don't like it. So I was very comfortable to do my own makeup for the wedding, and again, I didn't have to worry about it lasting all day because that literally didn't matter. When it comes to hair, I managed to source some clips from Vinted, somebody who doesn't want them anymore. There was a little collection of celestial pins. They're very common. I think it's because they're on sale on Etsy a lot and people sell them on, but there was a moon that I thought about using, and then I just thought it was a bit too much and I didn't use it. But then there is also a star that I've put in my hair here. It's kind of like a vintage diamante star. And I just kind of used my Dyson Airwrap, one of the curling tong ones that just gives my hair a little bit of life. And that's what I did for hair. I think it looked a little bit better on the day. I'm not gonna lie, I've spent a bit more time on it than I did just for this video, but this is essentially what the hair looked like. Now, I know that I've been putting it off for long enough now. You want to see the dress, don't you? Now, I was never gonna get a white dress. That was never gonna be me. It was never gonna happen. If you've been on this channel before, you know I fundamentally have like a spiritual and like deep personality aversion to the colour white and also the colour beige. And also anytime I saw a bride who wasn't wearing white, I instantly thought they looked 10 times more cool. And I was thinking of wearing a rainbow dress for the wedding because I wear a lot of rainbow and I'm a very colourful person. But then I found this dress secondhand and I was like, it simply has to be mine. Dun, dun, dun! Want to see it on? I thought you did. Hold on. Craig's not here to do me up. Rude. But this is a secondhand needle and thread dress I got from Vinted. This is what it looks like. Actually, let me just give you a twirl even though I'm not done up. Pow, pow, pow. Craig says I kind of look like the dancing emoji in it. He did also like it, but he said I look like that. But I think it's definitely giving more Victorian, Edwardian, Helena Bonham Carter vibes. Needle and Thread are a really beautiful brand that I hadn't realised existed until I started browsing for nice frilly dresses. But they make loads of really nice occasion dresses, and obviously because they're occasion dresses, people often sell them on, so there's a shit ton of them on Vinted for a very small fraction of the price of the original retail, and they're so beautifully made that I just feel like it's a waste that so many of them are just sitting on Vinted not being worn. Let me just show you some of the details. We've got a little pie collar frill here, some polka dots. On the bodice section, this is incredibly beautiful embroidery. It comes with a slip in, and then on the skirt you've just got all of these ruffles and more polka dots, and it's just a joy. I love the fact that it shows my tattoos, but it's not like bam, they just kind of poke out. I love that I didn't need to worry about control underwear or sucking my belly in when I wore it, and it also kind of eradicated the need for a necklace, and I feel like the hair clip eradicated the need for earrings either. It felt like there was so much going on here that I didn't need to add more, which again I really liked. And I just think with the setting, like where we got married, it felt a lot more like in keeping with that part of my romantic notion of like historically running away than wearing like a bright rainbow dress, which I guess is what probably a lot of people would have expected me to wear. But I'm also really into this kind of vibe as well frilly, moody, gothic, Victorian style things. And also Craig's suit was navy, so it matched that, and it just worked out very well. And I will be wearing this to lots of other occasions as well. Essentially, I can't believe it, but I found a dress that I genuinely want to keep forever and genuinely think I will wear. Which I think is really hard to find something that feels bridal, but also something you can wear again. It's a very fine line. I don't know how I accidentally made it happen. I have no tips on how to do that. I just fell in love with this dress and it came from there. Shoes. What shoes did I wear? Well. These shoes are really special to me in a really sad way, in that they are from a brand called A Regular Choice. And I used to really covet them. Like when I was at university, I'm sure I posted many pictures of them on Tumblr. I just thought they were the most beautiful shoes ever. One of the times that I went to London, I went to the shop that they sold them in, and I was just like, looked at them and was like, wow, one day I'll be able to buy a pair of those. And lo and behold, 10 years later, they're super out of fashion. Nobody really want them. And I find them on Vinted, or was it Depop? It was a long time ago. I bought them on Depop for about £20. These are the shoes. They are A Regular Choice. They're kind of like cat boots. And I think they're incredible, and I rarely have any reason to wear them. And it breaks my heart, and several times I've thought about getting rid of them, selling them on, but it kind of broke my 20-year-old heart because I love them so much, and I think they're just some of the most beautiful shoes I have ever seen. So when I got this dress, I was like, it doesn't not go. And it is February, like it's going to be cold. Why can't I wear boots for my wedding? And also I'm really short, so this dress does come down to the floor on me, like you can't see them that much. But I just love the fact that these are shoes that are secondhand. I've had for at least 5 years. They've been something that I have loved since I was 20, so like 15 years. And I felt really comfortable on myself in them. They do have a slight heel, so I still felt a bit fancy, but they were just shoes that I already owned, and I had been waiting for a reason to wear them. And while like totally get new stuff for your wedding, I don't know anyone who doesn't have outfits and little pieces and things in their wardrobe that they love, but they never have a fancy enough opportunity to wear. And I'm like, why can't a wedding be a time where you finally wear that thing that you really love? Right, now I've been all smug about all the things I just found and it was so easy, blah, blah, blah. Here's a regretful purchase. I really felt like I needed a jacket. We were in Scotland, it was February. So I was like, I really should have a jacket that goes with this. And I don't have any fancy jacket, not one fancy jacket to wear. And all of my jackets are like denim. They've all got sunflowers on them. So I was like, I should really get a jacket just in case I get cold. And I did wear it in some of the pictures, but I ended up buying this secondhand bolero / jacket. I don't really know what it is. And I do love it, but I don't think it's very me. And while it's very extroverted and cool, I pictured myself wearing this outside of a wedding context, and the more I have had it, it's just been hanging around my wardrobe, the more I'm like, I really don't feel like wearing it. It's just not, it doesn't quite fit me how I'd like. It isn't quite something that I think I'm going to wear very often, even though I find it extravagantly beautiful and very vintage and flash. And I did take some pictures in it. I don't think it is the long-term investment that I was hoping it would be for my wardrobe, however beautiful and valuable and amazing it is. So this is going to be up on my Vinted. Maybe I'll just put it live when I put this video live so you can actually see it in real time. But if anybody would like this jacket, I'm going to sell it for exactly what I bought it for, and you'd be very welcome to welcome it into your wardrobe. It's called Mimi and Beau is the brand. I think they might be a bit fancy. And that's something that I'm like, I ended up really not needing a jacket that much. It wasn't that cold. And I can see why I had an anxiety around being like, I've got to have something that matches. I've got to have a whole outfit. But at the end of the day, I wore it for about 10 minutes and I haven't worn it since. So that's getting released back into the pool of community clothes that we share together as humanity. That is part of humanity's wardrobe, but not part of mine. Can I just put my glasses back on? Because I can't see. But just imagine it without the glasses. Oh, so much Victorian glamour. This is the nail varnish that I wore. Again, didn't really want to get my nails done. It's not something I do very often. And I just felt like we're about to go on a holiday in the Lake District and just like hiking and walking and going around charity shops. Like, I don't know what use I'd have for a manicure for the rest of the week. It felt like just not something that made me feel amazing, so what's the point in spending loads of money on it? But I did buy this nail varnish especially for the wedding. It is like a kind of translucent pearlescent purpley blue, and it is called Affinity to Remember. I am wearing it right now, but I haven't applied it with the, sorry if I'm flipping you off, I haven't applied it with the most care, but this is what it looks like. I had slightly longer nails for the wedding, but I've been wearing this ever since. As you can see, the line is going down rapidly because I am also wearing it all the time. Now I have it, and it was a nice thing to treat myself to as part of the wedding. What else is on my list? Oh yeah, okay, right, there's nothing else on the list. Apart from talking about what I missed and what the groom wore. So Craig thought about buying a new suit, but he is a very tall, slim man. I always say he looks like Quentin Blake has drawn him. So it's very hard for him to find suits that fit, and he did have a suit that fitted. It happens to be a suit that he bought just after he graduated university when he was doing all his job interviews. But it is a really nice suit on him. We thought about getting him another one. We looked at some other ones, and the one that he had, he just like, I just feel really comfortable in this suit, and it's like a navy one. It's perfectly nice. And so he ended up wearing the suit that he already had. Again, not particularly from a sustainability perspective. We were like, we have to use what we already have, but what we already have is what we like. So it kind of worked out in that way. He wore a tie. We looked for new ties for him, but he really liked one of the ties that he already had, which happened to be something that he inherited from his dad. And then we did buy him a new shirt, and the new shirt is very nice. What a lovely investment. But he also kept things pretty simple. And as for things that are missing, I did actually buy a veil, like a blue, light blue veil, which I wish I'd taken pictures of us to show you. But again, a bit of a boo-boo purchase for me, which is fine because it was secondhand, and I gave it away secondhand as well, so it's fine. But for some reason, before this dress came, I was like, oh, am I going to feel special enough in it? That like the pressure started getting on, like, am I going to feel special enough? I'm going to feel bridal enough. Maybe I should get a veil, even though I've always thought if I get married, I'm never fucking wearing a veil. Like, it would not feel like me in it. I was like, maybe I should try it. Maybe I'm shutting myself off from something, and this is like the one experience of my life where I get to wear a veil. Like, let's just check. So I bought one and I wore it. Alone in the house for about 10 minutes, and I was like, I feel silly. I feel so silly. I felt like I was in like a kind of school play or something, and I very hastily passed it on back into the great clothes soup of the world. Other things that I didn't do, I didn't have earrings, but again, I tried on some of the earrings that I had, and I was just like, even if I buy new earrings, I think that having earrings on top of this neckline and my hair clips, I just felt like there was too much going on, and I just didn't feel comfortable in it. I didn't wear my glasses just because I feel like all of the glasses that I own don't go with this vibe of dress, and that's fine. I do have contact lenses for such occasions like this, and they start feeling uncomfortable after about 4 hours. But luckily, like I said, the ceremony was not 4 hours, so that was fine. So I ended up wearing contact lenses, which I'm pretty happy with. And I think a lot of glasses wearing people often wear contacts for their weddings. And is that okay, or is it better? Would it be better if I felt more myself in my glasses? I don't know. But that's what I did. Other things that I didn't have. Oh yeah, I didn't really attain to the something new, old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. But I guess I probably accidentally did that because this jacket definitely feels borrowed from the world to me. I have worn it for 10 minutes and I'm giving it back. So there's that, I guess. This is obviously old. This is something I got secondhand. The new, I guess, my nail polish was new. And blue. I think we smashed the blue category, don't you? I feel like if it's the blue that's bringing the luck to the marriage, then I've got more luck than I could possibly need. So yes, that is a wrap on my accidentally sustainable wedding outfit, what I wore, what the thought processes were behind a lot of those choices. TLDR, not much thought. I'm probably exaggerating like how easily I found the dress. I did sit on Vinted for many hours trying to find a dress that felt like me and also bridal, which is maybe an oxymoron because I don't really feel like a bride. I feel like somebody who would like to be married, but I don't feel like a bride. They're very different things. I did have like a million different dresses saved in my maybe pile before I landed on this one, but I'm just really glad that when it came, it fitted me. I felt really comfortable in it. Another thing that I didn't wear was a bra. Not wearing a bra right now. Did try it on with a bra, felt very breasty with a bra with this, I don't know why, and it comes with a slip, and I felt comfortable, and my nipples weren't showing, and I was like, who actually cares if I don't wear a bra to my own wedding? No one. So I got away with that too. Anyway, on that note, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy being part of the Gumption Club. It is my secret Patreon group. We have a Discord. We chat all the time about all of our various feelings about frivolous stuff like fashion, but also our concerns about the planet and how we're enacting it in our daily lives as well. So if that sounds interesting to you, we'd love to have you in the little community that makes this channel possible, and also means that I get to promote secondhand fashion and I don't have to work with loads of evil companies who are making loads of plastic rubbish that's going to be thrown away, and I get to talk about sustainable fashion in a way that I think makes sense for the future. So thank you so much to them. I think we will end on what I think is the perfect record of our wedding, which is this picture of us at the altar. I see no difference. These two things are the same picture. This was drawn by my cousin's child. Is that my cousin once removed or my second cousin? It's very hard to say, but it's very cute and I love it very much, and we might frame this next to our actual wedding picture because it's so good. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you're curious about the wedding, you want more wedding content, there's 2 other videos here for you to watch and that's all you're getting. Next week, we're back to our normal programme of talking about whatever the hell is not weddings. Frog snug out.